craftsman. I'm a woodworker or something like that. And he said, and this guy is proud of his tools that he has made. And look at him. He's showing them off to everybody. And I went, oh my gosh, I never would see that. And it was just another tool in my toolbox, another nugget of gold that now when I read this, I'm thinking, so tell me, what are you proud of lately? What have you created that you're ready to show off for people? And they're like, well, I haven't told too many people, but I've got this new project at work. I'm like, okay, good. Show it off.
Yeah,
Don't be afraid.
I mean, if you look at the image, it could be either or. I mean, It could be somebody stealing from you. It could be you doing the stealing.
Yeah.
It could also be just like, hey, look, these are all mine. Look at all these things. I'm taking them someplace. I'm really proud of this because we all see images differently. And what one thing means to me is not going to mean the same to you. Which is one of the reasons why I love, bone sets is no two bone sets are the same. And even if the pieces are the same, nobody has the same meaning for every piece. Yeah. Because they're individual to every reader.
Yeah. Stephanie just said the Seven of Swords freaks her out. And I just said, I hope it has a little more positive meaning now, maybe because of that, which is the beauty of it. It's literally the beauty of it. Sometimes just turning the card to your client and saying, what do you see in this card? And this is where I say sometimes the traditional meanings can get in our way, and this is why I love the layers, because if I let the traditional meaning out first, then it's out there on the table, then I can go to the numbers and the colors and the embodiment, and I can go, oh, I remember this one guy told me, this was what he felt this card mean.
Yeah, and it's beautiful to be able to open somebody's eyes, and as intuitive people and as readers, we never stop learning.
Yeah.
We don't want to.
Yeah. I don't think we can we?
Well, I'm sure we can. I mean, it's called turning it off, but then once, it's
or ego getting in the way.
Spirit comes around and starts slapping you around going, hey. Why are you hitting yourself? Why are you hitting yourself?
Yeah.
So, as a professional reader, because I know you do this as a profession as well as your health, wellness, what do you think, what types of tips, or I don't want to call them tricks because they're really not, would you give towards people, help them become better readers?
I would say the main one is do it often. And I tell you, when you feel comfortable to start teaching, even on a basic level, when you teach, you become better. Because you got to know because your students are sitting in front of you. So as you feel comfortable to teach even a basic class on whatever, maybe divination or tool, or even let's get together and practice and learn together. So doing it often. When I started really getting more and more comfortable was when I was doing my daily videos. Because, in the beginning, I would pull one card, but I would pull it before I got on air on record time, so I could look it up and understand it, and then trust my gut a little bit. And then when I discovered, and I use the word discover because it was like a freaking discovery for me. I'll never forget sitting in TerraCon in Dallas, Texas. Marcus Katz and Tally Goodwin put it on out there. And Ronna George was there, and she did a presentation on Lenormand cards. And I remember as she's talking about the cards, which I'd never heard of them before at that time, this is 5 years ago, I remember raising my hand almost like a fool and saying, I'm sorry, are you telling me these are fortune telling, designed for fortune telling? And she goes, yes. And I said, I'm losing my mind right now. I don't know what it was, but it was like a remembering, a rediscovering of something that I was connected to, probably a past life or something. But I came home and I was like, I got to start talking about Lenormand. So I would pull up the cards and I would have my cheat sheet in front of me and I would hold up the book and I say, the book, look for the secrets. Maybe you need a journal. But so I would get in the habit of, and I was an anal retentive MF about doing something every single day. I mean, I was like, it's going to get, once I make a commitment, I'm there. So I did, a YouTube reading video every single day for like 18 months. And then I finally allowed myself time off when I went on vacation. And then now I'm down to just doing one a week, which it took all I had to do that. But, do it. Even if you just post once a day online, and say, hey, everybody, you can write it, type it, video to it, whatever. But just, get out there and start, writing about it, talking about it, posting about it, and I love, Mary Kay Greer's book, 21 Ways to Read the Tarot. She says there's nothing wrong with looking up the definition of a card, even if you've got a client sitting in front of you. There's nothing wrong with that. It's nice if you don't have to do that, but if you really want to give a good reading to your client, go ahead and add another layer by pulling out the book and see what they actually intended it to be.
Yeah, I mean, it's all about using your tools, using what is provided to you.
Yeah.
We all would love to be able to sit down and throw cards and know the meaning of every single one and be spot on. But, nobody's ever 100%.
Yep.
We are constantly always learning. I
Absolutely.
love the Lenormands. I love the T cards. The T cards have been my newest favorite. They've kind of softened my approach a little bit.
Yeah. And I'm not familiar with them. So is that a type of card, T cards, or is that like the name of the deck?
No, T cards were put together kind of to represent the symbols that you would see in a teacup.
Okay, got it.
Symbols of the tea leaf symbols.
Yes.
Put into an actual deck so you can read them. Not too much different than reading Lenormands, but they are a little bit more intuitive, because what the fox may mean in Lenormand doesn't always mean in the T cards, because it doesn't always have that negative connotation to it. So
I remember doing tea leaves and teaching it, and I absolutely loved it. But I always said to my, because they would read for themselves and their friends and the people sitting next to them, and I'd always say, okay, let me pick a few and I'll read for them. And I said, but I got to tell y'all, I said I cheat. I said, the moment you give me that cup that you've been holding, that cup that you've sipped on, that cup that you stirred for 5 minutes, your freaking energy is so involved in that cup. The moment you hand it to me, it's like a speaker loud and clear in my head. And I even though I'm looking in the cup at your teas and the leaves and the markings and stuff, I said, I'm hearing spirit going, oh, she needs to, okay, this is what's, okay, she's got, okay, tell her to drop that guy. He's no good for her. And it's like, I literally sometimes I hand the cup back and I say, you can hold that. You hold it and I'll just look into it.
What other services do you offer so that our listeners know, I know you do readings, but I know you do a lot more.
I do intuitive sessions, which usually I'm pulling out my cards. I do Lenormand tarot. I am an animal communicator. That's probably about 30 or 40% of my work. That, I don't work directly with the animal. I work with the picture and the human. And the thing that I'll tell people, it's usually about the human. The animals are sentient beings that are trying to get you to learn something, usually. So the communication is fine, and I teach that class a lot. I am a hypnotherapist, so I do a lot of that work as well. In the last 18 months, been through an intensive 500-hour training certification, and I got to present at Rita Studio last year, and I brought hypnotherapy and tarot together, which was amazing, and it was literally spirit-driven because Ruth Ann and Walt asked me to present, and I'm like, sure I will. And then I was like, I don't know what I'm going to talk about. And she goes, you'll figure it out.
Now,
have you got to have 15 months to figure it out.
Now, have you done the NLP courses yet?
When I went through my clinical and transpersonal hypnotherapy, there were several hours dedicated to NLP. I like what I learned there. I am not certified or fully trained in it, but we use a lot of the modalities in hypnotherapy. They work very well together.
Oh, yes.
And that was on my list to do this year, but then revamping my website became the priority this year. So I'm trusting Spirit that was the priority, and I will see when I go through a course. I've got a few teachers that I kind of follow and watch their videos, and I really like them and their energy. So I'm waiting for maybe them to either pop close into town for me or something. But it's something I love because I'm big on words and the words you speak and the power they have. Yes. Yeah.
Like which teachers?
But I'll do the red box sometimes. I'll do the ring of success or ring of fire. Is it ring of success? As they call it, ring of success. Yeah. So a few of those things I'll work into hypnotherapy.
So who are you waiting to come into town?
Matthew James. He's big on Huna. I'm trying to remember the name of this. I think it's Empowerment Now. But he's in Hawaii, but I found him through the Ho'oponopono work and the Huna work, which is the Hawaiian energy and stuff like that, which Ho'oponopono is, for me, is just an amazing, it's almost like a magical spell sometimes. I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you, I love you. I mean, that's really it in a nutshell. And I incorporate that a lot in my work. And probably 70% of the time that I work with the client, especially like on a lot of the websites and the apps where they're, instant readings and stuff like that, I'll say, listen, I'm going to send you a link. It's Ho'oponopono. You need to do this, because a lot of people on those sites, 95% of the time is, I just met a boy. Is he going to call me? Why did he dump me? I mean, it's love, 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 love. Pain, 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 pain. Why did he leave me? What's going on? Why did he block me? And I use the Ho'oponopono to kind of release that energy, to let them go, to center themselves, to cut the cords and reattach them in a positive way rather than what feels like a desperate way. Because you and I both know the moment you're desperate, they feel that energy and they usually are not going to be drawn back to it.
Of course. And when you're stuck in an endless, ruthless, brutal cycle of mentally, emotionally, and physically just beating yourself up.
And that is why I was drawn and driven to hypnotherapy, because I remember thinking to myself, and this is just in almost like a naive way, if I'm a hypnotherapist, when I'm sitting here with a client who's asking me the same thing that she asks me once every 4 months, she comes to my office, I can say, close your eyes and let's go there, and just take them into hypnosis right at that moment.
You can allow yourself to let go. Because I'm also a certified, hypnotist myself.
Yes,
I'm also
know.
a certified neurolinguistic programmer. I took those. That's why I was asking, because I do feel that NLP is a phenomenal modality to add to hypnotherapy.
Oh yeah. It's on my radar. Yeah, and I thought it was going to be this year, but like I said, I think it's going to be next year.
Not that I do a whole lot, with hypnosis, but it was a passion of mine for a number of years to learn hypnosis, clinical hypnosis, neurolinguistic programming, learning how the mind works, learning how language works. I'm still a prick when it comes to people using certain language, and they come out and they tell me something, and I'll turn around and it's like, okay, so what you're really saying is, no, that's not what I said. I said, that's exactly what you said. No, you're putting words in my mouth. I said, no. I said, if you read your own language linguistically, this is what you meant. Now you have to go through and look for the underlying reason why you felt that way.
Yeah.
So how can our beautiful and wonderful listeners get a hold of you? Should they want any kind of a reading, hypnotherapy, if they're looking for courses or classes?
Yeah, the easiest way is mitchellosborn.com, and that'll take you to my main intuitive psychic website. And there's a link there that you can click to go to hypnotherapy, which is a second website. Eventually, my website's going to have everything on one. I'm going to bring it all together. It's going to be beautiful and wonderful. But on that page, you can book a session. I see Stephanie says she needs hypnotherapy. And Stephanie, if you want to book a free 20-minute consultation, absolutely. I'm pretty much, for the next 3 weeks, I'm booked, and then I'm on vacation. So just in case someone goes and tries to get a hold of me in the next couple of days or weeks, I'm finally taking a nice long vacation with my hubby. So we're going on a cruise, thank goodness. But that's the best way to get a hold of me, mitchellosborn.com.
So you also have, though, intuitivemitchell.com.
Yes, that Mitchell Osborn now goes to Intuitive Mitchell. So that one, it will eventually be phased out, but it's still there. They all go to the same place. Yes.
And so you offer classes as well as readings, and you do classes on the Lenormands and tarot and intuitive and psychometry, as well as